Welcome back to Chloe Avalon, dear friends. This is Priscilla, and in this video I am just doing a couple days in the life, and all this red stuff that you see there on my counter are frozen tomatoes. And my sister-in-law Leona, when we were still in Alaska, had put all these tomatoes in our freezer up here for us because they had an abundant crop of tomatoes, and she just chopped them up and put them in freezer bags and put them in my freezer because she knows that I love to make pizza sauce and stuff like that with tomatoes. So I was so very grateful for all these tomatoes because we cannot really grow tomatoes in Alaska. So my plan is to make a bunch of pizza sauce with all of this. I think I'll do a few jars of tomato juice so that I can like make chili soup or whatever with it, but most of it is going to go into pizza sauce. And this pizza sauce is like a pasta sauce. You can use it in spaghetti and, different Italian dishes. And I just love my pizza sauce recipe. And I actually did do a video years ago, or I don't know, it seems like years ago, probably 3 years ago at least, on our Montana Haven channel about how I do my pizza sauce. So I'll definitely link that video below for you. It will be in the description box of that video, the recipe will. And I started cooking up my tomatoes. Oh, it was already in the afternoon, and so I decided to start with dinner right away too. And my sister-in-law also has given us quite a few spaghetti squash from last fall, and it was so hard to open that thing. My husband came and chopped it open for me. And so I usually just scrape out the insides, and after I've scraped it out all nice and clean, I will just add some seasonings to it and then bake it at like a high temperature, about 450 or 425, whatever you prefer. Here I'm putting on some Lawry's seasoning salt, not too much, just a little bit, because I also add some real salt then. And then I'm adding some chives here, and then some garlic flakes all over. Then also what I put in is some Italian seasoning, and you really can put in what you want, but I kind of wanted to have it more of an Italian flavor. And then of course some real salt, and then I'll put in big chunks of butter. That makes it really good. And then I also had some leftover Parmesan cheese that I sprinkled in there. And then before I put it in the oven, I will put in some water in the pan, and that kind of helps it steam and really soften up well. Next for dinner, I made a pizza rice casserole, and this is such a simple casserole to make. And the bottom of the casserole is cooked rice. So this is cooked rice that I'm putting in here with cream cheese and sour cream and some seasonings like basil. I'm not sure what else, but I'll put the recipe down below for you. And it just makes for such a creamy base. And then I fry up some burger with some onions and then some crushed garlic, and it smells so good in my kitchen when I do this. And then last, after I have the burger on, I put a pizza sauce layer on top of that, and then I'll just stick it in the oven and bake for about 30 minutes. And just before it's done, I'll layer on some cheese, and it's just really good. The pizza casserole is all done, and the squash is done, and Avalon actually made a chocolate cake when she came home from school. So we are going to have a good dinner that night. dinner definitely was good. And then later that night, I actually had a Zoom call with some of my consultants that joined through me in Lemongrass Spa. And it was my first ever, and it was a little nerve-wracking, but I'm sure it was a little scary for them too. But we had such a great time, and I just love how we can create community and friendship through this business. Good morning. Here I am getting myself ready for the day and to go get some groceries, do some grocery shopping. And the foundation that I'm using is called Cashmere, and I also mixed in the liquid foundation Fawn because this is my winter skin and I just needed mix some of my foundations. And then I used a cheek and lip tint copper for my contouring, but they don't have that in Lemongrass anymore. And then for my blush, I used the Boysenberry. It's like a deep dark blush. And then for the fronts of my cheeks, I also used some Rose cheek and lip tint. And I just put that on first right after my foundation to let it kind of sink into my skin because they're minerals, they're natural minerals. And I think when I put it on, it just it sets it a little bit and sinks in and it blends better. And then I also did my brows with some dark brow pomade. And then here I'm just mixing and matching with these eyeshadow palette trios. I always use the darker shade in the very corners of my eye, outer corners of my eye, and a little bit of shimmer in the very front of my eyes. And sometimes I don't use the darkest shades. It just depends how I'm feeling. But I love playing around with that. And then I will also often use the darkest shades of the eyeshadow palettes for the outer corners of my eyes, like lining them just slightly like I'm doing here. Instead of like an eyeliner, I line it a little bit, the outer corners. And then of course I use the Sheer Minerals volume mascara that they have that I just love. Now here I'm blending that blush in, and I think it looks really good. I love how the blush looks. And I blend everywhere, a little bit on my forehead, down my chin, cheekbones, and my jawline, my nose. And here I'm fixing my hair. And now I'm using the setting spray to just set everything. And last, of course, I put on a little bit of lip gloss, and I love this neutral lip gloss, and the name of it is Charmed. Well, good morning. It's a cold morning. How cold was it this morning?
1 below zero.
1 below zero. So yesterday it was like 7 below or something. But I'm coming down to the store. I have to grab a lot of groceries for the week, and Joas has a meeting that he has to attend to, so that's going to take a little bit. And then after that, I'm going to go up and start my pizza sauce. After I did my morning routine, I left for our grocery store down the hill here, and I did a lot of shopping. A lot of shopping for the week. So I have a lot of groceries here, and I'm just going to quickly get them all away, put them all where they're supposed to be, and then I'm gonna start making my pizza sauce. I'm also gonna make some tomato juice. I'm just gonna can some tomato juice. I love to use that sometimes for chili soups and other things, even just to drink or make like a tomato soup. So let's get busy. Tonight we're actually gonna go to my oldest brother's house for dinner. They have 6 kids, and two of them are married. 2 of them are married, a daughter and a son, so they won't be there. And they live like 40 minutes away, and kind of almost like off-grid. I mean, they don't actually live off-grid, they have electricity, I believe, but kind of similar to that. So we're gonna go see them tonight. Ta-da! It is all cleared away. And you know what? I thought I had the time lapse going and showing me getting these groceries away in record speed. But when I came to check it out, there was no time lapse video. So I must have forgotten to hit start or something, hit record. But anyways, just look at these beautiful flowers, roses. Joas gave me an early Valentine's gift. He surprised me and put it in our bedroom. And when I walked in there, it was on our dresser. So I don't know how he sneaked it in the house, but he did. So now it's quite a bit later and I'm gonna start working on all this tomato stuff. I might not get it all done because we have to leave kind of early for dinner tonight, but I'll see what I can do.
When we are lost in pain, we cry out your name, and you are faithful, faithful through all things. You are faithful, faithful through all things. Patience, child, rest a while. When you begin, no man can mend. You are faithful, faithful through all.
So I will cold pack these for about 20 minutes. It doesn't take long at all. And now I'm just gonna keep blending up all my other tomatoes. And then I'm going to blend up all my peppers and onions and garlics together, just make a puree out of it and dump it into my sauce. It's gonna be good. All right, I am heating up my tomato sauce, and over here I have a bunch of peppers and garlic and onion that I'm gonna blend up in the blender and then just pour it into my tomato sauce. And then I have lots of seasonings here, Italian, oregano, basil, some pepper, some salt, and the recipe doesn't call for pepper, but I put it in anyways. And then a couple cups of sugar, and I'm using my Sucanat brown sugar. It's a little bit healthier. It has the minerals in it still. And then some organic olive oil. And here is my sorry looking recipe that I've had for a long time, but I love it. I'm glad I have it. so it doesn't really want to blend right now. So I'm going to pour in some tomato juice. That might help it blend better. Not sure, we'll see. The chunks are almost too big, I think. It smells so good. Whew. Burns my eyes, the onions. Wow. Okay, I am ready to take out this tomato sauce that I've been cooking for 20 minutes. So, I'm going to take them out. And look how they separated. Separates like that, but then you can mix it all up again. Then I'm going to set my other pot of pizza sauce on here. I have it on my wood stove right now because I don't have a place, but I'm going to set it over here and get this pizza sauce cooked up. One last thing that I have to put in this pizza sauce is tomato paste. That helps thicken it a little bit and it gives it that rich red color. But I have to let these cook for about 30 minutes, 30 to 40 minutes. They've been cooking for about 30 minutes and it's looking good. And over here I have a bunch of tomato paste that I'm going to put in each of them, and it's going to give that rich dark red color. It's smelling so good in here. I won't be able to put them in jars today because it's getting later and we're going to take off for town and for my brother's house for dinner here soon. But I'm just going to finish this up and then I'm going to set these canners out in the cold. It's very cold outside. So I'm just going to set them out overnight and then I'll finish them up in the morning.
Babe, what are we doing?
Well, we're heading to my brother's house for dinner. And they live quite a ways out. I think they live out of cell phone service. So, yeah, it's going to be fun. They're not off grid, but sort of like it, I guess. Yeah, we're going to have a good night. It's just a glorious evening, and this is their cute little cabin right now. Bonnie and Kunil were giving us a tour of their place.
I'm not saying guys. Because I don't.
This is the next day, and it was such a beautiful morning this morning. As you saw with the big moon, it was just so beautiful, but cold. But we had such a good time last night with my brother and sister-in-law and family. I didn't take any footage inside or anything because I just wanted to be respectful. But it was just a really good time. And now today, I'm going to show you what I have already done. I have mixed together it's called seasoned pizza crust sourdough. It's a sourdough seasoned pizza crust, and I mixed this morning already. It's later in the day. It's like 1 o'clock, and so this is going to be for tonight. I'm going to make homemade pizza for tonight, and I want to tell you where is that book? I think it's in here. Yes. Where this recipe comes from is this book right here, Everything Sourdough. And it's just a really cool book. Like, it's a Mennonite lady that put it together. She's actually related to my husband, I think. And I'm thinking you can find it on Amazon. I got it down at our store. But if I can find it, I'm going to link it, because the sourdoughs recipes are just mostly simple, and you should be able to do it. So, but there's just neat, like there's a really cool bread, cheesy bubble bread, and there is the basic artisan bread, sourdough, and Avalon has done this. This was the first sourdough bread she's tried, which is very similar to my recipe that I have. It's just the ratios are a little bit different, so it's very similar. And yeah, so I'm gonna make homemade pizza, and this pizza crust has a lot of seasonings in it, like rosemary, oregano. It called for Mrs. Dash, but I didn't have that, so I didn't put that in. But yeah, just some different things. And I'm letting it rise back here. And then also from this book, so I won't be writing these recipes down below because it came from this book, but you can, I'm pretty sure you can get this book on Amazon. I'm gonna see if I can find it. I also mixed this up this morning, and this is pumpkin bars. This is sourdough pumpkin bars, so I've been letting it set until tonight, and then I'm gonna make some pumpkin bars, so we're gonna have pizza and pumpkin bars for dinner. So that'll be fun. Okay, you guys, I'm actually gonna interrupt this video right now because at the time when I was filming, I didn't know some things about this cookbook. So I actually talked with Charlene Yoder, the one who made this cookbook, and by the way, she is related to my husband. But I actually talked with her, and she said, yes, you can buy it on Amazon, but it is more expensive on Amazon. I think it's close to $38 on Amazon. And I just saw that there was only a couple left on Amazon. I don't know if they'll be getting more, but she gave me her email address that I can put in the description box below. And if you contact her there, she will actually give you a better price. So she'll sell you the cookbook for $30, only $30 plus free shipping. So there's no shipping cost. And if you buy 2 or more, you can get them at $25 a book. So that is a good deal. So you would just email her and tell her how many books you want. By the way, these make such great gifts. That this book is just really simple. It like breaks down the sourdough process. It just makes it so simple. It's been so fun for me to cook out of this cookbook, bake out of it, because just the way she uses the sourdough is just easy. It makes it easy. And in the front of the cookbook, she has she talks about like sourdough starter, how to start it and how to take care of it and all that. So she really breaks it down for you. And it's just a really great sourdough book to have. And like I said, it makes incredible gifts. So I would say contact her, email her, and the way you would pay her is through Venmo or PayPal. But if you email her, she'll get right back with you and help you through that process. So yeah, if you want a good deal, contact her, and I'll have her email address below for you. So now let's get on with the video. But now I'm gonna get back into filling these jars of pizza sauce. I already filled 2 cannerfuls and they are done. So I'm gonna do the rest of them and put them in my canners, and then I'm done with the pizza sauce. And by the way, this is like a pasta sauce. You can use it for almost anything. Like I use it for lasagnas, and sometimes I'll even put a jar in my chili because it just thickens it up a little bit, and it's just good. It tastes good. So it's very versatile. And Italian food is probably my favorite type of food, is Italian. So I'm gonna be using up this pizza sauce a lot.
Jesus, we surrender everything. We bring all our praises to the King. Jesus, you we seek. Though he may lead us through the valley, Christ will walk along the side. Through the trials in the canyon, he will ever be our guide. Peace replaces fear, joy for our despair. No one can compare to him who's always been there. Jesus, you always see. Jesus, we surrender everything.
Okay, before I go on with my dinner, I just have to show you. Here are all my jars of pizza sauce. I am so thrilled for this. And I'm gonna use some fresh pizza sauce on my pizzas. And these pints I'm gonna give to Leona because she was so generous in giving us all these tomatoes. I am ready to put the pizza all together. I baked the crust, and this one had like big bubbles and it kind of broke, and so I punched this one down. But I think it'll be good. And I have cheese over here. I have wild pork that they got in Texas, the guys, sausage, and some peppers and onions that I just lightly sauteed, some pepperoni and some mushrooms. I didn't have raw mushrooms, so I just used some canned ones, and then of course pineapple. Now I think pizza is only half as good if it doesn't have pineapple. We need pineapple on our pizza. You know what? You should comment if you love pineapple or not in the comments below. That would be awesome to see how many people like pineapple. I know it's like a strange thing to put on pizza, but I love it. We are all ready for dinner. There is the cake, and here is the first pizza. So we're gonna have a good dinner tonight. So dear friends, thank you so much for watching all the way to the end, and we will see you all on the next one. God bless.